Hello everyone, my name is Robert Woods. Mitch asked me if I wanted to submit anything for the Soho Horror Pride Festival's musical night, so I quickly worked this up. Hope you enjoy it. Hereditary, Hereditary, the musical Hereditary, a sad tale of a family that have a real bad time. The musical Hereditary, an adaptation made by me that strips it of all potency because of song and rhyme. It begins with a grieving family, and it ends in death and despair. Let us guide you through all this tragedy, so the Lord may hear our prayer. Sathony, Degony, a Paragon, Hereditary, Hereditary, the musical Hereditary. The songs are in the key of C, it's easier to play. The show you are about to see, the musical Hereditary. That's no more time for pleasantry, let's get this underway. Chorus of Satanists scatter. Curtain rises on Annie Graham giving a eulogy at her mother's funeral. My mother was a very private person, private rituals and friends, a private life. Our strange relationship just seemed to worsen. I loved her though she caused us so much strife. She's at peace now so her worries should have ended. I hope she hasn't left any for us. I'm surprised this service is so well attended. All you strangers must have liked her, that's a plus. Charlie, that chocolate bar better not have nuts. Transition to the family home. Welcome to our home where the Graham family, our house is isolated in the woods as you can see. We're just back from a funeral but happy as can be. We're the loving Graham family in the show Hereditary. I'm Annie, I'm their mother and his wife. I make dioramas based on my own life. Mental illness lurks inside my family tree. I just hope it doesn't manifest in me. I'm Steve and I'm the man of the house. I'm a therapist who loves his kids and spouse. All the crazy is on her side, though not mine. I don't even have a receding hairline. Welcome to our home, we're the Graham family. There's a carport in an attic and a small house in that tree. We'll always stick together and we never disagree. We're the loving Graham family in the show Hereditary. I'm the eldest son, Peter, and I'm cool. I like girls and smoke weed with friends at school. I'm an average teen with no trauma to see. That's my sister, I'm Charlie. Welcome to our home, we're the Graham family. Bubbling underneath the surface is subtextual misery, but we don't acknowledge that and just keep singing filled with glee. We're the loving Graham family in the show Hereditary, Hereditary, a loving happy family. But something lurks they cannot see that started long ago, because in actuality there's nothing they can do to flee what fate foretold their role to be in this sad tale of woe. Kids, I'm leaving for work. Coming, Dad. Charlie's school bag. Love you, Mom. Have a productive day. Only 3 months till your show. Oh, thanks for the reminder. I've got so much work to do to get ready for my show. I'll be making dioramas day and night. But something strange just happened when I left my studio, and it feels like something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. I saw my mother standing there when I turned off the light. When I turned the light back on, the vision I had seen was gone. Something's not quite right. My first day back at school, and there's this class in old Greek plays, and this chick in front of me looking hella tight. But I'm pretty high already, and my head is in a daze, and it feels like something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. I didn't know some answer, and she looked at me in spite. Perhaps this is a sign, cause I gotta make her mine. Something's not quite right. I feel lost without my grammar and forgot about this test, so instead I started modeling this night. But the teacher made me stop it. Oh my god, he's such a pest, and it feels like something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. A pigeon hit the window and died instantly on sight. He needs something for his head. Could I use that bird's instead? Something's not quite right. I just got to my office and I'm ready for my day. So many emails I must expedite. But there inside my inbox was an image attaché, and it told me something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. Someone just dug up my mother-in-law's new gravesite. The body's gone as well, I don't think I should tell. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. We should do something about it now to remedy our plight. I need counseling for my pain, Birdie's head I will obtain. The secret's mine to hold, I'll invite her to get bold, and then we will be Hereditary, Hereditary, they think that plans can set them free. Control over reality's not an acquired skill. The whole point of Hereditary is that they can't change what will be. They don't have capability to exercise free will. Transition to Annie at a self-help grief circle. Hello, my name is Annie and I'm new. My mum died and I'm learning how to deal. She had DID and then dementia too. Our estrangement makes me not know how to feel. My dad starved himself from psychotic depression. Brother hung himself from schizophrenia. He accused my mum of performing possession. I just want to make sure that my head's all clear. Pete is arriving home from school. Tonight I'm gonna do it, there's a girl I gotta see, and I know she's gonna show up at my best friend's house party. We'll smoke weed together, that is if I get mom to agree, and there'll be an awesome dance scene in the show Hereditary. Mom, I wanna go and meet some friends at school. There's no alcohol, it's real chill, so be cool. At school? Well then, Charlie should go too. Is that something that she even wants to do? Well, have you asked her? Where is she? The treehouse again? Charlie is in the treehouse. There's a little girl screaming inside my head, and it drives me insane. I wish I was dead. When it all gets too much and I want to shout, I just make a little and it drowns her out. Grandma loved me the most, and she told me I'm a boy. Now this gender dysphoria is something I enjoy. When it all gets too much and my body feels daft, I just make a little and create some craft. I still see Grandma daily even though she died, and there's strangers that follow me near and wide. I sleep in a tree house instead of a bed, cause that family makes me wanna lose my head. I'm allergic to nuts, here's my EpiPen, and the girl inside my head started to scream again. When it all gets too much and I need to eat, I just give a little and find something sweet. Charlie, stop hanging out up here. You're coming to a party. No thanks, just fucking do it. Fine. Hereditary, we're heading to a tea party to drink and dance and smoke and see if Peter gets a date. But fate would have a sole decree, though he got game it will not be, for someone left a chalk brownie where Charlie's told to wait. Wait here, I don't know anyone. They're making brownies, you'll be fine. Hey, Bridget, wanna smoke some really awesome weed? Sure, but first, we gotta dance. Start the beat, dance with me, let's get it on. You and me, we could be a phenomenon. Start the beat, dance with me, let's get it on. You and me, we could be a phenomenon. Spectacular dance break, all the kids are gyrating and doing impressive acrobatics. A group forms around Peter and Bridget doing wild hairography. They chant, lose your head, 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 lose your head. Woo! Start the beat, dance with me, let's get it on. You and me, we could be a phenomenon. Peter, it's getting hard to breathe. Were there nuts in those brownies? Where's your EpiPen? In the treehouse? Fuck. Hereditary, we're driving back home frantically. The EpiPen is in the tree, and that is Peter's goal. Charlie's breathing heavily, her throat is closing rapidly. She's leaning outside desperately, just watch out for that. You're fucked up so bad, and you're in shock. You've been driving home for half a block. Just keep looking at that wheel. If you look back there, it's real, and it's all just a dream. Just pull up at the house and shut down the car. You're on autopilot, and it feels bizarre. Just drift back into your bed and don't think about her head, cause it's all just a dream. Maybe it didn't happen that way, and your mom won't find her the very next day, and you'll get to keep on being a normal kid. You don't have to live knowing what you did. You can't go to sleep, can't close your eyes. If you sleep, you have to wake and realize the dream is very real, and then you'll have to feel and you'll wish for the dream. Transition to the funeral. My daughter was a very special person. When she was born, she didn't even cry. When my mother died, I thought things couldn't worsen. But now Charlie's gone. I just want to die! Hereditary, now Charlie is an absentee, and coming up you get to see an awkward dinner scene. The tragic Graham family, their lives are a catastrophe. Let's wallow in their agony as things now turn real mean. Welcome to our home, we're the Graham family. We used to be 5 people, but now we are down to 3. But just back from a funeral, and worse than previously, we're the gloomy Graham family from the show Hereditary. Let's all sit down together for a meal. As a therapist, I think we need to heal. Pete, do you have anything to say? Don't fucking accuse me. Don't you swear at me. Don't you ever raise your voice. I am your mother, and you're being a disgrace. All I do is slave and worry, try to shield you from the pain, and you repay me with that face on your face. And I know it was an accident, but my daughter's dead. I just want a sorry, but instead you run. So now I can't accept and I can't forgive because nobody admits what they've done. What about you, Mom? I could say the same to you, but somehow you think that all the blame is mine? Why was she at the party? She didn't want to go. We are stopping this right now. Fine. Hereditary, the musical Hereditary. Act 1 ends quite uncomfortably, the tension on the climb. A quick break for the company, and then in Act 2 you will see the conclusion of Hereditary. It's intermission time. Originally I was thinking of making A Quiet Place the musical, but then I realized it'd be over in like 5 seconds, which is pretty funny, but perhaps not substantial, and now I'm having the opposite problem. Anyway. Hereditary, the musical Hereditary. We've got to move quite rapidly, there's so much to get through. A character that will be key to understand Hereditary is introduced immediately. It's time now for Act 2. Transition to Joan at the Self-Help Grief Circle. Hello, my name is Joan and I'm new here. My son and grandson drowned not long ago. Talking to this group might keep my mind clear. If you ever need to talk, just let me know. Nice to meet you, Joan. I'm Annie. You're here because of your mother? Oh, that was last week. This week it's my daughter. Well, here's my number. I hope your family's okay. Transition to Peter at school. I've been having crazy nightmares. Charlie haunts me in my dreams. There's that's calling on me every single night. When hands try and pull my head off, I wake up to my own screams, and it feels like something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. My classmates all ignore it, but there's something in my sight. There's this lady across the street yelling, "I expel you, Pete!" Something's not quite right. I am trying to be therapist to my dear wife and son. Every time they're in the same room, there's a fight. I'm consoling them in turns with my own grieving isn't done, and I know that something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. They're just both so mean. I want to scream. If this keeps up, I might, but I can't lose my command. I'm a neutral Switzerland. Something's not quite right. I think I'm hearing Charlie's tickets got me feeling shook. I saw something in her room and got a fright. These images of Peter's face appeared in her sketchbook, and I think that something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. I threw it in the fire and it set my arm alight. Don't know how it was affected, so the book must be connected. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. Something's not quite right. A darkness spreads inside us like a haunting parasite. It's not real. I must be brave. I make sketches from my grave. I must be strong like a stone. I have to. Oh, hello, Joan. Annie. Oh, Annie. I have something to show you. My, you're in a good mood. Oh, still fighting with your son? You go sleepwalking into his room one time, covered in paint thinner, with a box of matches, and never live it down. Well, he killed my daughter, so I guess we're even. Oh, Annie, no, she's not gone. Let me show you. Turn the lights off, light the candle, hand upon the glass. Close your eyes and feel the energy start to amass. Louis, Louis, can you hear our prayer? Louis, Louis, reach out from somewhere. Oh my God, the glass! It moved! Well done, darling, Grandma loves you, know that you're adored. Take this chalk and try and make it right up on the board. Louis, Louis, what have you to tell? Louis, Louis, let us know you're well. Love you, Grandma. And I love you too, Louis. Grandma loves you too. This is freaking me out. I gotta go. Louis, hold on, we are pausing. Annie, it's okay. Go home, try it with your family. This shows what to say. Make sure they're all there. Show them that you care, and she will hear your prayer. Ah! Annie runs out screaming. Transition to Peter's bedroom. You're losing your mind every day at school. Anxiety attacks make you look uncool. You're feeling so depressed and you probably need rest. Just fall into dream. And thus begins the true horror of the show. The Dream Ballet, a sequence of shitty contemporary dance that abstractly depicts Peter's inner turmoil. Lots of imagery of ants and floating heads. Grandma conducts it all, and he dances in with a can of paint thinner and a box of matches. She has a tug of war with Grandma over Peter. Finally, the Satanist souls swarm around Peter, lifting him back up into bed, where he awakes screaming, "Peter, wake up, you're having a nightmare! You were trying to take my head!" Whatever, I got this thing we gotta do that's gonna fix everything. Come on! Hereditary, hereditary, we're now in seance territory. We get to see the family together one last scene. Annie's made it her decree to conjure up their absentee, and she explained this rapidly as they slowly convene. Come now, Peter, come now, Stephen, I've something to show. We can find her only if we come together, though. Annie, what is this? Is that Charlie's sketchbook? Turn the lights off, light the candle, hand upon the glass. Close your eyes and feel the energy start to amass. Charlie, Charlie, can you hear our prayer? Charlie, Charlie, reach out from somewhere. It moved! Mommy, I can hear you! Mom, what's going on? Annie, stop this! Daddy, why are you afraid? I don't like this. Annie, that's enough! Dad, you're scaring me! Alright, stop it. That's enough of this tirade. Steve throws a glass of water in Annie's face. Pete runs off crying. What the fuck, Steve? I've had enough of this shit, Annie. I'm going to bed. What the fuck just happened? Hereditary, hereditary, we now divide the family. They go to work and school and see how fate has been so cruel. Annie's shocked discovery about her mum's activity will rock her world, but first there'll be Pete's final day at school. My anxiety is through the roof, I can't trust what I see. I keep following this ghostly bluish light, and it showed me my reflection, but I swear it wasn't me. And I know that something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. Reflection do possess me and it sees me up real tight. I made concordant throws and I think I broke my nose. Something's not quite right. I discovered Mother's Satan books and things I hadn't known. She wants Peter for some kind of evil rite. Her dead body's in the attic and it seems that she knew Joan, and I think that something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. There's this demon they call Payman that has Peter in his sight. My life has so much drama, you should see my diorama. Something's not quite right. I just got home and Annie's screaming, "Dead mom in the attic!" She goes on about conspiracies all night, and she said that it might kill her, but the sketchbook was satanic, and I think that something's not quite right. Something's not quite right, something's not quite right. Annie threw it in the fire, and yet I got set alight, so I'm done now, I'm at rest. Also, Annie is possessed, something's not quite right. Steve dies. Annie's spider climbs up the wall. Transition to Peter in bed. What was that noise? Am I asleep or awake? This whole nightmare feels too real to be fake. I've come to realize this all ends in my demise, and this is not a dream. One by one the Satanists pop out. Satani, Degani, a paragon. Can't you see you will be a phenomenon? Satani, Degani, a paragon. Can't you see you will be a phenomenon? Dance chase! The Satanists heard a screaming Peter through the whole house. Peter finally gets to the attic where Annie is wire cutting her head to the funky beat as they chant, "Lose your head, lose 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 your head." Woo! Satani, Degani, a paragon. Can't you see you will be a phenomenon? Peter self-defenestrates. Transition to Joan in the treehouse. Satanists bring Peter in. "Oh my darling, what an entrance, welcome to your post. We've corrected your first body with a new male host. Peter, Peter, he is now your frame. Charlie, Charlie, what is your real name? You are Payman, you are one of the 8 kings of hell. We have called you and we are devout to you as well. Payman, Payman, share your power true. Payman, Payman, we bind ourselves to you." Hereditary, hereditary, the musical Hereditary, a tale of household tragedy whose hours growing late. Alina Jones successfully has sacrificed a family. It's inevitability, you cannot stop your fate. It began with a grieving family, now it ends in death and despair. But the tellings have down necessity, so Lord Payman could hear our prayer. Satani, Degani, a paragon, hereditary, hereditary. There's no more Graham family, the conjuring worked perfectly. Lord Payman shall ascend, you cannot change trajectory. Look to the northwest and you'll see the musical Hereditary has come now to an end. Thank you.